Hello, this is Mr. Vargas, and this is part 12 of my platformer videos. And in today's video, I'm going to show you how to add a projectile to your game so that the player has a way to defeat the enemies instead of just trying to avoid them. So I just have my one of my levels open. You can do this on any level. And I'm just going to click somewhere randomly to create my bullet object. So we're going to hit create. We're going to name it bullet. We're gonna go to physics, make it movable, take off solid, take off gravity, but enable collisions. And then we will press OK. And actually, let's go. We should actually hit edit sprite so that we can draw our bullet. So let's do edit sprite. Let's delete the image that was already there. And I'm gonna use a circle tool to draw my bullet. So I'm gonna pick, I guess I'll pick like red to do the outline of the bullet. Make this grid size a little bit smaller. Let's see. It's probably a little big. And don't worry about this. This is a bug. Watch when I pick the paint bucket tool, I'm just gonna click here, and that the old image for some reason appears and it just erases itself as soon as you just edit the image again. All right, now I'm just gonna draw like a little core in the middle of our bullet. All right, so this is our bullet. Press OK. There's the size of our bullet. Maybe a little big, but I think it's fine. You wanna make sure it's visible. So now I'm actually going to, so if you go to edit, you're like, oh, okay, we have to add some code, and you're right, we do, but we're actually not gonna do any code inside of the bullet. So in fact, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go over here and I'm gonna hit delete. That doesn't actually delete the bullet from the project. It just deletes it from up here in the sky. It's still in my library. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna have the player emit bullet objects. So we're gonna click on our player. This is where the code is gonna go. We're gonna go to behaviors and we're gonna do keyboard, and we're gonna do change key, and we're gonna press enter. And actually, no, I'm not gonna do enter. I'm gonna do spacebar to shoot. So I'm gonna do spacebar is gonna be my shooting button. And whenever we press spacebar, we are gonna go to components and we're gonna use an emit block so that we emit bullets whenever we press spacebar. So we're gonna connect the down to emit, and let's click on the emitter. What object to emit? Bullet. And expire after. This is how long the bullet will appear on the screen before it disappears. So 10 is 1 second because it's measured in tenths of a second. So you could do like maybe 20. So the bullet will be on screen for 20 seconds. Emit force. This is how much force you push the bullet out with. Basically, the bigger your bullet, the more emit force you're gonna need. I'm gonna set it to 1. And I think that's good. So let's press OK. Let's press OK. Let's press play. And I think I want the bullet to go farther and maybe a little faster. So this is going to require a little tinkering. Let's go back to the emitter and let's make it expire after 30 seconds. And let's set the 30 tenths of a second, so 3 seconds. And we set the force to 2. Let's see how this looks. Let's hit play. I think that's pretty good. Now, if you notice, the bullets are going right over this enemy. So, if you have a smaller enemy, the bullet might not hit them. You can try playing around with the angle over here. Emit angle, you can kind of have it come down at a smaller angle. You can make it bounce if you want, but I'm fine with it. I don't care for the low enemies. You got to jump over them, but the higher enemies, you can use it for those. Or if these are on a platform, you can jump up and try to shoot it. So let's see what else. Well, at this point, the bullets don't actually hurt the enemies. So watch this guy when I shoot him. See, it just goes right through him. So you want to be able to hurt the enemies. So one way to do this is to just go into, if you don't have too many enemies, you can just go into the enemy and just add the code so that when this enemy collides with the bullet, collision with bullet, destroy self. So I'm going, and I'm going to show you another way to do this that comes in handy when you have lots of enemies, lots of different types of enemies, but I'll just show you the basic way first. So I'm gonna press OK, I'm gonna press OK, press play, and it destroys the enemy. I think it kind of went through that enemy right there. We go. So, once you get this working, you might want, this might tweak the way you balance your game. Now that you have a way to kill enemies, you might want to add more of them, right? Or in different places. So that could change your tweak. If you find that the bullet's too overpowered, you could also change the expire after. So it doesn't go that far. It doesn't have that much range. So you can't just spam the bullet far away from all the enemies, so that's another thing you could do. Now, like I mentioned, there's another way to do this. If you have lots of different types of enemies, you can actually create an object and you can just call it basic enemy. And inside of here, you add that code, that collision code, right? Collision with bullet, destroy. And this also comes in handy if you're trying to keep score of your enemies, so you don't have to add this code to every single one. So you do this, right? And so we have this object over here called basic enemy. You could delete it from the project now. And now in here, you just hit edit, and all you have to do is you set the parent to basic enemy, and any code that basic enemy has, this will inherit. So this allows you to write code once and have lots of different objects inherit that code. You don't have to do it this way. Just wanted to show you. You can very well just copy this and paste it. If you want to do that, don't forget there's a way to do that. If you select code, you can just do copy, and then you can just, inside the code of another object, for example, like this guy down here, you can just go in here and you can just click and paste that code, and then the code will be right there. So that's pretty much it. That's how you add projectiles to your game. Thank you for watching.